So I'm going to need some children to help me out here a little bit as we think about the next big word that ends in SHUN. And I think Michelle is there first of all, and I'm going to ask Michelle to unmute if she's happy to. And I've got some pictures, and I'm wondering whether Michelle's able to tell me if she knows who these people are. So here's the first one.
Olaf.
Oh, straight away. Fantastic. We've got Olaf. Okay. Do you know, Michelle, also who this is? Do you know who that is?
Forky.
Very good, Forky. And for the grown-ups who don't know, what film is Forky?
What film?
Toy Story.
Toy Story. And what film is Olaf in?
Frozen.
Very good. You're doing brilliantly so far. And we've got one last one. Do you know who this is? That might be a bit trickier because it's a little bit older.
Grown-ups will know that one.
I think the grown-ups do know. Do your mummy or daddy know, Michelle, who this is?
No.
Oh no, disaster. Josiah, who is it? Pinocchio. This is Pinocchio. Did the grown-ups know?
Okay.
Yeah, this is Pinocchio. So we've got three different people here. We've got Olaf, we've got Forky, and we've got Pinocchio. And so the question is, what they all have in common. I wonder, Lois, you have a little think about those three people. What three things they've got in common? Olaf, Forky, and Pinocchio. Any? What's that?
They all have eyes.
They all have what?
Eyes.
They've all got eyes. Yes, they've all got eyes. They've all got heads. These are things that they all share in common. We're after something else different from that, though. Josiah, any guesses for this Pinocchio, Olaf, and Forky?
They want to live.
They want to live. We're getting there, aren't we? Tell me a little bit how you got to that. Tell me about Olaf. What about Olaf then?
He's a snowman.
Yeah.
And he comes to life.
He's a snowman and he comes to life. What about Forky then? What about Forky?
He's a sport with decorations on him which comes to life.
He is, yes. And tell me about Pinocchio.
He's a wooden doll which comes to life.
Yeah, they're all things that actually by themselves don't actually live by themselves, do they? But in the stories, they all come to life. And that is giving us a bit of a clue as to what our big word that ends in SHUN is today. Now, this is really, really tricky, but there's a big word that ends in SHUN that is about coming to life in some sort of sense. So I wonder whether we might know what that is. I think I might need to say it, unless we can work it out.
Any grown-ups, you know?
Grown-ups can have a guess at this point. Let's allow the grown-ups in on the kids spot. You can unmute yourself if you're a grown-up and
Redemption.
say that again.
Redemption.
Redemption is close, but no cigar. It's not redemption. Any other guess? A big word that ends in SHUN.
Resurrection.
Resurrection is really, really close, but it's still not quite there. It's
regeneration.
Oh, it's regeneration. Who was that? Was that Trevor?
That was Trevor.
It was Trevor. Trevor's there. It's regeneration. How many syllables has that got? Regeneration. It's a big word. It's a big word that ends in SHUN. Regeneration. Regeneration means God bringing our spirits, not our bodies, but our spirits to new life. A little bit like Olaf and Forky and Pinocchio come to life. To help us understand it a little bit, I want you to close your eyes. Can everyone close their eyes? I'm watching on Zoom to make sure everyone's doing it. Close their eyes. And I want you to think back, not very long ago, you had a Christmas tree. Can you picture your Christmas tree, maybe in your living room? And did it have lots of pretty lights on? And maybe it had tinsel on it. Maybe it had a star or an angel at the top. And I imagine your Christmas tree looked wonderful. It looked beautiful. It looked like it was a living, amazing tree, didn't it? But you know what? Actually, the Christmas tree wasn't alive. It had been cut off, hadn't it? It was a dead tree that you brought inside that looked pretty. And that's a little bit like us. We can look outwardly like we're vibrantly alive. But the Bible tells us that inside our spirits, without God, our spirits aren't alive. And so we need God to come and regenerate us, give our spirits new life. It's like he takes the Christmas tree and he goes and plants it so that it becomes living again. So God takes our spirits and he plants them in his spirit, in his very being, to bring us to life again. That is our big word that ends in shun today. It means God making our spirits alive again, regeneration. I've got a verse to go with that today, just like all the other verses. Big words that end in shun, regeneration, and it's 1 Peter 1 verse 3. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he's given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. Big word that ends in shun. We've done 3 so far, haven't we? Creation, revelation, regeneration. I hope it's not just the children that are learning things. I imagine the grown-ups are learning some big words that end in shun as we go through this as well.